In this video, we're going to be comparing the OnePlus N30 to the new Moto G Stylus 5G. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the OnePlus N30 on the left side, and we have the new Moto G Stylus 5G 2023 on the right side right here. And we're basically just going to go through some of the specifications, tell you how my use has been on both these devices, and tell you which one is the better device to pick up. Now obviously, starting off with the prices of these devices, they are pretty far apart. So the N30 5G right now you can get for about $299 on Amazon, and I believe till June 30th you can actually get for $300 the extra OnePlus True earbuds or whatever on there. So if you guys are thinking about picking up the N30, definitely keep that in mind, that there is a little bit of a giveaway with this device. You get those wireless earbuds. Now for the Moto G Stylus 5G, it's going to be $399.99, so $100 less than last year, but still $100 more than the OnePlus N30 right here. So we're going to go over some of the specs, we're going to do a benchmark test, and talk about the real world use I've had on both these devices. So first and foremost, the body of these devices. Both these devices are going to have a glass front, a plastic frame, and a plastic back. One thing that's going to be super obvious is the Moto G Stylus 5G right here is going to actually have a stylus. So if you guys are not looking for a stylus device, I can recommend many more devices other than the Moto G Stylus 5G. I know it's kind of like a niche device because a lot of people are not looking for a stylus, which is going to obviously play into this video. It's going to be a factor, but I feel like a lot more people aren't really looking for a device with the stylus. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But as I said before, the stylus is going to be in this device. The OnePlus N30 obviously won't have that. Getting into the displays on these devices, both these devices are going to be an IPS LCD display, both 1080 by 2400 and both a 20:9 aspect ratio. Both devices are going to be pretty close in diameter as well. So the Moto G Stylus 5G is going to be 6.6 inches and the OnePlus N30 is going to be 6.7 inches. So very close, and they both have a refresh rate of 120 hertz. So that's nice to see. The PPI, however, is still going to be a little bit higher on the Moto G Stylus 5G, but it's really not that much of a difference. Getting into the operating systems, both these devices are going to have Android 13, and both these devices will only also get 1 year of OS updates. However, the OnePlus N30 is actually going to get bi-monthly security patches for the next 3 years. So that's great to see on here. Obviously, the Moto G Stylus 5G, if you guys like that, it is running a bit more of a stock Android type of feel on there, which I do like better. But if you guys want something a little bit more refreshing you guys haven't tried out before, Oxygen OS has honestly been really nice on this device. I think it's something for somebody that's trying to go away from Apple, get away from more of the stock Android devices or Samsung. This is going to be a kind of more refreshing feel, honestly. So if you guys are into that, this is definitely a good device for that. Getting into the processors on these devices, so the OnePlus N30 is still going to have the Snapdragon 695 5G processor inside of it. However, we did get a upgrade with the RAM, so we have 8 GB of RAM inside this device now, so that's great to see. Going over to the Moto G Stylus 5G, we do have a better processor than last year. So we have the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 inside of the Moto G Stylus 5G 2023, so we did get that little bit of an upgrade right there. And honestly, this phone has been really decent. It's been smooth. The refresh rate obviously is one of those reasons, but the processor inside of here is definitely noticeably quicker than the OnePlus N30 as far as like your day-to-day tasks. As far as the storage inside these devices, the OnePlus N30 5G is going to be 128 GB of internal storage, and we can expand that via micro SD card, so you always have that option. And for the Moto G Stylus 5G, we have a hefty 256 GB of internal storage, and we have 6 GB of RAM, and we can also expand the storage on the Moto G Stylus as well up to 2 TB. So that's always great to see. Also, one thing I wanted to talk about, the build on the Moto G Stylus 5G. It kind of has a film on the back of it where you can't really leave fingerprints on there, so that's always great to see. Love that. The N30 has just this glossy back that you can smear all over. So if you guys don't have a case and you guys are going to rock a phone nude fingerprints are going to be all over the OnePlus N30, and they're not going to be on the Moto G Stylus. So that was one of the things I like better about the Moto G Stylus right there. Now, getting into the cameras on these devices, starting off with the OnePlus N30 right here, we have our new 108 megapixel camera, and that is going to be a PDAF camera, our wide camera. Our secondary is going to be a 2 megapixel macro, and our third is going to be a 2 megapixel depth. And as far as our video goes, we can go up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. We do, of course, have our LED flash. We have HDR and panorama on this device as well. Now, getting over to the Moto G Stylus 5G, we have a dual camera setup right here. So our main camera is going to be a 50 megapixel wide camera. That's going to be our PDAF camera. And we, thankfully, for a secondary camera, get an 8 megapixel ultra wide. Now, I'm not going to get into the camera reviews yet because I have separate camera reviews on these devices, but I would have to say that the Moto G Stylus 5G is a lot more consistent with its camera colors, contrast, and pretty much everything else, clarity and stuff. It's a lot more consistent on the Moto G Stylus 5G. So they did a great job optimizing this phone and the camera. I haven't really went too much into the video on this device yet, but we're going to go ahead and do that in separate videos. But I would say as far as the camera goes, the Moto G Stylus is going to have the better camera. Also, you can shoot in 4K at 30 frames per second and not just 1080p 30. And we also have 1080p 60 frames per second on this device as well. For the front-facing cameras, both these devices are going to have a 16 megapixel front-facing camera, both able to record at 1080p 30 frames per second, and they are both going to be able to use wide mode on them. Also, one thing that I really like about these devices, they both have stereo speakers, and they both have 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks on them, so that's always great to see. I believe the speaker is about the same on each of these devices. I'm not 100% sure. Just know that they both have stereo speakers on these devices. Happy about that. Absolutely love it, and I keep wanting to see this 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. It's just a convenient way of listening to music and watching your videos and stuff. Also, both these devices have NFC inside of here. As far as like the radio goes, we don't have a radio on both these devices, but we do have a side mounted fingerprint sensor on our power button, and they're both extremely accurate, so you're gonna have no issues with that. One thing, however, with the batteries, the charging, and all that type of stuff, so both these devices are going to be all day battery devices. They are going to last absolutely all day. Extremely good batteries on these devices. Really like them. 5,000 milliamps, have a great capacity. They both actually have their charger inside of the box. However, the Moto G Stylus only has a 10 watt charger inside the box. So this is where it kind of gets a little different. So for the OnePlus N30, we actually get a 50 watt wired charger inside the box, Super Vogue charger. You can charge up to, in about 30 minutes, you can charge it up to 80%. So as far as the charging rate and everything goes, the OnePlus N30 is going to absolutely charge quicker. And it's great that we even get that huge 50 watt charger inside the box. Absolutely love that. So great to see that on this device. That is one thing that it really beats the Moto G Stylus in. But the Moto G Stylus, it could charge at 20 watts, that's fine, but it does last all day. So both have extremely good batteries. Now, as far as our colors, I know that they released a different color overseas. I believe it was like lime or something, but in the United States so far, the OnePlus N30 has one color that is a chromatic gray color. And honestly, I really like it. I think it's a really nice looking color. As far as the Moto G Stylus right here, we actually get two different colors. This one's a cosmic black. We kind of have like a little hue of blue right here that changes in different light conditions. I think this is a sexy color. It may be boring to some people, but if it is, we actually have another color to choose from, and that is going to be the Rose Champagne. So you get two options on the G Stylus. Last thing we're going to do is we are going to do our benchmark test, see how this test goes, and we'll be back with you in a second. All right, guys, so we got the test done right here, and our score for the OnePlus N30 is going to be a 909 for a single core score compared to 939 on the G Stylus. And for our multi-core score on the OnePlus, we have a score of 2117 and 2756 for the G Stylus, bringing in the winner, the Moto G Stylus 5G. So this is definitely going to have the better performing CPU inside of it. As far as video games go, I feel like that's a gray area. I feel like, you know, it's going to run decently on pretty much most stuff, and we're going to do a full gaming review for that. It just seemed like the OnePlus N30 just ran video games super well, especially like Genshin Impact on like low and medium settings. It did a pretty decent job, but we'll have videos coming out on that very soon. But as far as my conclusion and my verdict of this device, if you guys are looking for a device right now with a stylus, I can definitely recommend the Moto G Stylus 5G. However, if you are not, and you have $399 to part ways with, I would save your $100 and get the OnePlus N30. I just think it's a great device. It offers great value, and it's always great to save money, obviously. So if you guys want to get that and then maybe purchase some nicer earbuds or get some other accessories like cases and different things like that, I believe just the OnePlus N30 5G is it's just a solid device. And I know this is kind of a really big gap in between here, but if I wanted to purchase a device and I didn't care about a stylus or anything, I would go with the cheaper device. And I think this device has a close enough experience and close enough performance to the G Stylus 5G to just skip the G Stylus 5G. But if you guys are looking for a device with the stylus in it, again, I can absolutely recommend the Moto G Stylus 5G 2023. I am loving this device so far. So for anybody that wants to pick up this device, don't let me stop you from doing it. I'm just saying, if you guys aren't looking for a stylus, again, the OnePlus N30 5G I just think is a better deal and all. It's just too close to the Moto G Stylus 5G specs. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. That was obviously my opinion. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Go ahead and sound off. But hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Again, this has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.